video doesn't actually discuss a point that's been raised, or even a particular viewpoint held by religious people or atheists. It's really just me expressing my annoyance at and disbelief in the validity of a certain way of arguing something, or anything, in fact. It's used by Christians, yes, but it's actually used by pretty much every group imaginable when it comes to a debate of any kind. How often have you heard someone point out that that's the way people have done it for hundreds of years, or that an idea goes way back, or they've been doing this for thousands of years, who are we to change the course of history kind of thing? The institution of marriage has been around for thousands of years, so it must be great. Christianity has been around for thousands of years, so it must be great, etc., etc., etc. These are the kind of common arguments that we hear. Basically, it all boils down to X has been around for a long time, therefore X clearly works, and we should stick to it. Who are we to change the course of history and to go against what people for hundreds or thousands of years have deemed to be the best course of action? I'm sure you can think of your own examples of ways in which this argument is used, and so I won't go into specifics here. I personally view it as being a lazy and entirely invalid argument, and here's why, in one word. Slavery. Dating back hundreds, in fact thousands of years, the wealthy citizens of major world powers had slaves. Ancient Egyptians had them, the ancient Greeks, Romans, America of course had them, and even slavery even abides in some countries today, so I'm told. Now, taking the example of the abolition of slavery in America, I'm sure there are many right-leaning and probably even left-leaning people who argued that slavery was a part of human life, that there were two classes of people, etc., etc., and I'm sure they would have used the very same argument people are still using today to support other long-standing traditions. It's been around for thousands of years, who are we to stop it, etc., etc. But then, some brave people decided to do exactly that. And of course, the impact was enormous, but, as most people would agree today, the abolition of slavery was absolutely the right thing to do. Of course it was. Yes, it had been around for thousands of years, but that didn't stop it being a basic affront of human rights, equality, and indeed human dignity. For this simple reason, to me, the argument of it goes back hundreds or thousands of years, or it's always been this way, is not, on its own, an argument for the continuation of that state. Sometimes it's the case that, quite simply, the way that things have always been is wrong. There are a number of examples, the abolition of slavery, giving women the vote, etc., which changed the course of history, and it was thanks to brave people who weren't afraid to do that our global society has progressed. So, if you ever hear anyone using the argument from longevity, make sure you ask them what else supports it. Yes, coupled with something else, the argument for longevity might just about be valid, maybe in some cases, but on its own it's flat out lazy. It's like saying, oh, I don't know, it just is, in response to a question. It doesn't work on its own.